put the glizzy to his head. He said, the next time that I see you come around, I'm gonna give your ass the FaceTime. We had a rough dog, we found over everything. All we had was us. I was posted in the dead end. I had niggas trying to kill me. You don't wanna know the real me.
Alright, y'all, welcome back to Street Connects TV. Today we're here joined by my guest, young Rahue. What's the word, my boy? How you living?
What's good? How you feeling?
Doing good, my boy. Glad to have you on.
Glad to be here.
For sure. So the first question is going to be, where are you from?
I'm from Lincoln, North Carolina.
Word. How was life growing up there?
In the beginning, it was like tough. Cause my mom, she had me when she was 17 years old, and she didn't have no place to live at. Cause my grandma, I think my grandma was in jail in that time. I'm not sure, but I know she wasn't living with my grandma. And then, I think she was living with my aunt. But while she went to work and stuff as a kid, she would drop me off. Like my grandma, she had got out as I got older, and then she would drop me off at my grandma's house on Pine Street in Lincoln, North Carolina. Living in this small one-bedroom apartment. Like, it was crazy. Yeah. But then as I got older, my mom got a better job. And then it was like, we went from there to now, like, she got a house and stuff like that.
Alright, so things definitely got better as you got older.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Now, what got you to start making music in the first place?
My cousin Deshaun, he used to make music. He had got killed when I was a little kid. I used to be around him a lot. And then my mom's ex, my sister's dad, he a rapper. And there's a lot of musicians in my family, like my grandpa. I think my grandpa got signed, but yeah, I think stuff went downhill. A lot of stuff happened. Yeah.
Alright, so music has always been a thing like around you in your family from a young age.
Yeah, definitely.
Got you. Now, other than music, did you have any other interests growing up, like besides music?
I wanted to be in the that's a tricky question because I started making music when I was like 10 years old. I started writing and stuff. But as I got older, I used to doubt myself and listen to other people around me who would be like, nah, you can't do it. I used to doubt. So I was like, want to do sports. So I played football, basketball, and soccer. I wanted to go to the NBA and the NFL. But I realized it wasn't for me.
Word, so then as you realized that wasn't for you, you kind of decided that music was going to be the way for you?
Yeah.
Got you. Now, you're saying that you were doubting yourself for a period of time. What was it that kind of inspired you to go back into music after being doubted, like, for the last couple of, like, years in your life with that?
Because, like, before, I'd be telling people, man, I want to be a rapper. I want to be an artist. Not even just a rapper. I want to be an artist. And they'll be like, man, you can't rap, you can't sing, none of that. So then, like, I got to high school, before I put anything out, I used to be freestyling everywhere, like in the hallways. I'd be wild, just skipping class, freestyling, getting in trouble, stuff like that. And then whenever I went to the streets, I was in like a music group. And then we finally released something and everybody was like, yeah, you go hard. Everybody was rocking with it. So it let me believe, and my family was rocking with it too. So it made me believe I could do it.
Or so it was like a culmination of like everyone around you finally liking your music and telling you like you can do something with this that kind of got you back into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Word. So during that time when you was playing football and basketball, what would you say was like your favorite sport out of all the, like what sport did you focus on the most like during those, like when you was an athlete?
I ain't gonna lie, I only played it for like 1 year, but soccer my favorite sport. But football, I played it all throughout high school except for my senior year, I think. Yeah.
Where so having that many years played football, how was your experience overall with like playing high school football?
It was fun. But I kept getting headaches and stuff. And I was like doing music too then. But I was like, I want to protect my head. Because I had injured somebody. I had broke their shin. And I was like, if I could break somebody's shin, what could somebody do to me?
Damn. That's real. So it took you to realize the pain you could inflict on others that made you realize how vulnerable your body really is playing the sport. And like, it was kind of the dangers and the risk that came with it that kind of made you want to like go away from it.
Yeah.
Got you. That's very interesting to hear because we see a lot in like the NFL and like college football now. Like athletes are talking about like a huge discussion behind CTE and like you feel me. A lot of players are getting injured and like it's just a huge. The NFL is just constantly trying to find ways to make the game less rough. Do you think that kind of affects the game though, in a sense where like, yeah, we're keeping players more safe, but it's not as aggressive. It's a lot of people say the league is getting soft and stuff like that. Do you feel like playing it safer is a bad thing for the game? You think like the way they're approaching trying to make it more safe is a good thing for like football?
Oh, no, that's a good question. Because it's hard to answer that question the right way because when it comes to football, it's basically aggression is like a key factor to it. Cause like the football coach used to tell me, use your anger. So it's like they telling all these other people use their anger to hit somebody. I mean, like, I don't know how it's gonna be softened.
You just feel like it's best to have the players in mind.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Now to go back to growing up and music around you, who and what did you listen to growing up?
I listened to Gucci Mane, Future, The Migos, Young Dolph, Sam Cooke, James Brown. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, what's her name? Mary J. Blige.
Word now. Who would you say was your favorite artist growing up?
Definitely Gucci.
Definitely Gucci. That's
Gucci.
hard. Shout out Gucci, man, for sure.
Shout out Gucci.
For sure, for sure. Now, did listening to any of these artists influence your sound, like when you was developing it as you became an artist?
I think it did. Because in certain songs, you can definitely tell that, like, as an artist, I look up to, like, Gucci Mane. Because, like, when I'm rapping and stuff, sometimes people say that it sound like Gucci. I don't take it no offense or no way when people say that because, like, Gucci one of the greatest.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good person to be compared to when it comes to making music.
Mm-hmm.
Or so you would say, like, you got a lot of comparisons to Gucci earlier, like, in your career than you do now?
Nah, definitely not.
You get it more now.
Mm-hmm.
That's fire. Now, overall, though, how would you describe your sound individually?
I'd say it's like it's a mixture between all angles in music because I wouldn't say I'm just a rapper because I sing, and I do like soul, I do R&B too, and then I even do Afro. So like my sound is just my soul, really.
It's just describing your soul in essence. Is no matter what, it's very fluid with the sound. It's not really like can't put it in a certain box.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Gotcha. And like versatility is a big thing to you.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Now you dropped 2 mixtapes in the last 6 months. What's been pushing you to put so much music out?
I wanted to like try to do something. Like I wanted to try to break through the surface and get the algorithm up. So I tried to release like as much as I could, but in a respectable time that people could like listen to and fall in love with the music.
That's good. So you're trying to be in the audience ear as much as possible without overdoing it.
Definitely.
For sure. Now, do you have any plans on when you think you're gonna drop your next project?
As of right now, Not sure. But I know today the single came out. Pages.
Now to go back to your two mixtapes, what were the meanings behind the titles, Broken Thug and Movie?
Broken Thug. When I made Broken Thug, I was basically saying it like I'm broken, but I'm a thug. Cause like whenever I used to be homeless in Charlotte, sleeping in my car and being in the streets, and I was broken back then. Cause like my grandma had kicked me out the house, and I was just hurt. So I would be like Broken Thug. That what came to my mind when I was thinking of what to call it. Cause like some of those songs I had wrote while I was in the streets homeless. And I'll be spitting them for my grandparents and like other people and stuff just to get they thoughts on it. In their movie, they came from being like, you know how like Kanye got the documentary of his life
Word.
and how like everything he went through turned into a movie.
Yeah.
I'm thinking all these songs and stuff, I'm listening to it, you can close your eyes and it paint pictures. So it's like a movie.
So you kind of went with more like, you try to approach it with more of a visual to the album. Like you wanted to, so like the audience could see what you're talking about, in a sense. That's fire. That's fire. Now, when you were coming up with Broken Thug, when you were going through that situation, was True to the Game one of those songs that you wrote back then? Because I know you could definitely feel and hear the pain in your voice when it came to that song.
No. But the song Dog Days is a song I wrote back then.
So on Movie, you do have a song titled Mirror Mirror when you got more into your Afrobeat vibe. What kind of made you want to tap in with that sound?
When I went to Africa to see my pops, he had got deported when I was born. I went to Africa to see him, and he had made me write the Afro beats only. I'd be like, nah, I want to do something different, like some hip hop beats. He'd be like, no, you got to write the Afro beats. And I was like, all right. And so I wrote to him, and next thing you know, I started making songs with him, and it like started flowing. And now, as I look back, I'm grateful for that moment because now I can like rap on Afro beats easier than I could back then.
Okay, so how old were you when you got back to Africa with your dad?
I was 16. When I got back, I went in December, and I stayed for like a few months.
Word. So how would you describe that trip overall? Like, how was it going back to the motherland?
It was amazing. Like, it's crazy. It's not like how they think it is, like how it's like the desert. It's like cities and stuff.
Word. So do you feel like there's a lot of similarities with it to America, or do you feel like the cities over there is like a completely different kind of environment?
Kind of different because when I went, it's like the slums is bigger. And it's a lot more people out there. It's just like in poverty, you know?
Seeing how poverty looked like in a different country, did that kind of put things into perspective of how you lived back home and like seeing how poverty could look like in a different setting?
Yeah, definitely, because it made me more grateful. Because I was like, before I left, I was like, at 15, okay, nah, I was 16 and it still happened. So when I was 16, my grandma, the place where she was living at, and where I'm from, Oakland, the hood where I'm from, I sleep over there sometimes, and it'd be like roaches and stuff. So it's like, that's like basically the ghetto. But this ghetto is way different. It's more privileged than, like, the ghettos in America are more privileged than the ghettos in Africa because the water is not even clean. You gotta drink water from a baggie. And then the water and stuff, you gotta wash your body in a tub. It's crazy.
No, worry, don't be having running water because it's kind of like that in certain parts of DR too, where in the campo, like you got to get a bucket of water, pour that over your head.
Mm-hmm.
Word, I know exactly what you're talking about, for sure.
Even the slums out there.
That's how it is over there.
Mm-hmm.
Word. For someone who has not tapped in with your music yet, what are the first 3 songs you feel like they should listen to?
Ooh, definitely. Thick as Thieves movie. And the song I got coming, I did the remix to No Love for Thugs by Kodak Black. I did a remix to it. They should definitely listen to that. It's gonna be on the next mixtape pages.
Copy. So that's gonna be also the title to your next mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Is that kind of a theme you're going with? Because you also did the same thing with Movie, as where you dropped the single called Movie and then dropped the tape called Movie, and then the same thing with this. Is that kind of like a theme you're going for?
I really be wanting to change the names, but it's like the metadata. The metadata is something that, you know what it is.
Nah, you can go into more detail though.
But whenever you register a song, the metadata got certain metadatas. They got to match what one of the songs is. Like when you register a mixtape.
That's how it works basically. So
Yeah.
it's a little more complicated to try to change the name and stuff technically wise.
Mm-hmm.
Copy. Who are some artists you want to work with?
I want to work with Gucci Mane, Future. I do want to do a song with NBA Youngboy, but I also want to do a song with Lil Durk. Cause they both go hard, and Rahue.
Yeah. So you feel like that's interesting though. So you feel like you don't really need to be involved with what they got going on. You still want to work with both of them.
Exactly.
Gotcha. It's like there's people that do that though. Rod Wave both worked with both Dirk and Youngboy though. So you feel me? I feel like you could definitely work your way working around it, because like, you feel me? Like street, like whatever they got going on don't got nothing to do with you. You feel me? So as long as they recognize your talent and, you know, it's on a work basis, I feel like you could definitely make that work.
Cause we can make some good music together. Like all the beefing and stuff, I ain't even in the industry yet. I ain't even worried about the beefing. That's one thing I'm not trying to do, cause like I'm trying to be in the game as long as I can. I ain't trying to have no drama, cause I got people I want to feed, and that mess up everything if you got beef.
That's a fact. Where so you more focused on like elevating yourself and your family. You're not trying to worry about going back to what you already had going on back home. Like, you know, you've already trying to overcome that. There's no need to go back to the street beef life. Like, you know, we're working past that.
To anybody listening, I am just an artist. My songs, they don't be the truth. It be cap. For anybody listening.
Last question of the day. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself living far away from North Carolina, being successful in music, like either being signed to definitely being signed to a label, and taking care of my moms.
It's the dream.
Yeah.
For sure. You want to elevate your whole family out where you come from and make it so your kids don't have to struggle, none of that.
Right.
Definitely some great goals, my boy. But that's all we got for today, y'all. Appreciate you for tuning in. Rahue, it was a pleasure having you on the show, my boy.
Glad to be here.
For sure. All right, y'all. Once again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch y'all.
Safety.